from the Los Angeles Underground. It's time for your new favorite podcast, The Superiority Complex.
It's like honey in your ear holes.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Another beautiful day here in the, almost said in the neighborhood. We're recording remotely again. We'll explain it all later. It's really none of your business, but we're
Stop asking.
Stop asking. We're all good though. We're all here. We will be back live very soon.
We've all bathed.
We got Jake's here, John's here, Patrick's here, Justine is here. Early morning record, very early for us. Very early for this crew. I don't want to give any times away, but it is very early in the morning.
It's
early
10:30 in the morning, folks.
What time?
I don't want to give anything away, but it's 10:31.
We actually don't record this early, so it is nice to see everybody bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Some of us have bathed, some of us haven't. So there's 3 of us that have bathed and 2 of us that haven't. So we won't give anything away. Although I smell very nice. And just
Mario, do you remember the first time you found out that the Tonight Show was not filming like at midnight, that it's like 3 in the afternoon?
David Letterman ruined that for me. David Letterman is the one that did that, because he would cut
And
to
you're like,
stuff
oh,
outside.
Wow.
Yeah, Letterman, yeah.
You're like, oh, I thought it was like midnight, it's like a late night vibe, and then all of a sudden they open the door, you're like, oh, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. By the way, Santa Claus is dead. Ed Asner has passed, so Santa Claus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those of you familiar with Ed Asner from, of course, his most famous role was that of Santa Claus in Elf. Probably. John, would you disagree?
Well, for people my age, it would be Mr. Grant. He got 7 Emmys for playing, 5 Emmys for playing Mr. Grant, Lou Grant, on across 2 shows. He got it's not too often that it's like Frasier, I think, is the other character, that you're like on 2 shows. You're winning Emmys for playing the same character on 2 different shows.
Which is weird about the show. Lou Grant, of course, was the character on Mary Tyler Moore, and then, which was a comedy, and then Lou Grant was like a drama. It was like a 1 hour.
Never get used to that.
It was a 1 hour drama. And
like investigative journalism, and I could never get used to that, because he usually got the biggest laughs. For me, anyway, on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, you've got an all-star cast. You got 7 comedians, and he, for me, he always got the biggest laugh. And so when they started doing the Lou Grant drama, I'm like, I can't watch this. I keep waiting for the laugh line. There's no punchline. It's all set up.
For some reason, when I was a kid, I liked that show. I used to watch that. I remember that. I used to watch it.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was probably like 10 watching Lou Grant. I don't know why. Because it was on, probably. But
pretty sharp writing. I think it's the guys behind MASH. Some of them anyway.
Oh, okay.
Not Larry Gelbart, but I think like Gene Reynolds and those guys. So it was really well written.
Yeah. So shout out to tip your 40 to Lou Grant. Is that what I wanted to say?
Hey,
I wanted to say,
how about he was the voice of the old man in Up, right? I can't think of his name.
Yes,
the
of
old
course,
man in Up.
Carl. He was Carl.
People of a
Up.
certain age that's gonna be the major thing. They remember him from Up.
Yeah, Carl. Carl goes up.
Carl.
Coral.
He's the old curmudgeon old man.
Coral, we got to put the balloons on the. Coral. We got
Redo it.
Coral. We got to put the balloons on the house. Fly over the. They're gonna stay inside. They're gonna get you. Coral, don't go outside. Is that show still? That show's still on, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, but he left.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, she's probably been dead for years now.
He didn't die. He left.
He left.
Yeah,
What the fuck does that mean?
He died to the people in that world, but he got picked up by a helicopter. But they haven't shown him for a whole season.
Coral.
So he's not dead, is what you're saying.
He's not dead, but they think he's dead on the show.
I see.
I have no idea what you're talking
They're
about.
talking about The Walking Dead, John. The Walking Dead.
You watch it, huh?
Coral. Coral.
The bridge explodes, and then everyone thinks he died, so they move on. But then you see later on that he got picked up on a helicopter.
So there's still.
I can't believe how long that's been on. What is it, like 15 years? I can't believe how long that show's been going.
No, 15? No.
Take a look. I think it's pretty close. Maybe like 11 or 12.
I
Patrick?
just watched him in another film. He was in a Penguin
Let me
movie.
look it up for you.
Or Poppin. Wow, what's his name? Carl.
Coral. Andrew Lincoln.
Thank you.
He played a penguin.
No, he. It's not a penguin. It's called.
2010. It's been 11 years.
11 years, John.
Okay,
That's a
What'd you
lot of
say,
years
15?
Next month.
that's a long time for a zombie show. It's a long time for a zombie television show.
That is true.
I wonder if they thought they could spin that many plot lines off of.
I lost
a
interest
zombie.
around the time before the governor showed up.
I didn't even know you were watching it.
What? You
Still.
didn't make it to Negan?
No.
I didn't either.
I bailed out like the season before.
That's
Yeah.
what it's called. Penguin Bloom. I just watched that movie that he was in.
So is that girl with the girl with the machete? Is she still around?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's the one carrying the show.
Because it's hard to imagine anyone killing her.
Michonne?
Yeah, she's the one carrying the show right now.
She's also a
about
bodyguard for the king of Wakanda.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's her.
Ah,
she's
That's
the
her.
main one.
She's the bald lady.
Bald, girl bald.
This is
I missed the last episode of Marvel What If, so I'm 2 episodes behind. The last one I caught was the one with T'Challa, so I missed this last
I
one.
watched that.
What was the last one?
T'Challa.
I didn't see the next one.
Okay, check it out. It's a good show. I'm all caught up.
What if the Human Torch was Iceman?
Yeah. I just caught I'm all caught up on Ted Lasso, although I don't want to give any spoilers out because I think my wife's going to try to start watching it, so I don't want to give any spoilers. But yeah, it's
So
good.
good. It's so
So
good.
Good show. Good, fun show. Very nice. Very good. Good,
Who are
warm.
your favorite characters?
The girl he randomly plays soccer with once in a while.
Yeah, she's cool.
The one of the guys in the pub. I'm just naming like super minor characters just
Which
to piss
one,
you
though?
just to piss you off.
Jesus.
One in the pub.
By the way,
Always says hi.
the lady who runs the pub was an alien on Doctor Who, and she played the alien who had they came in and they had to have suits that made them look like people, so they were all really big. They hired like bigger actors to be and she was like the matriarch
yes.
of the family, and she runs the pub now. I like everybody. It's a well done show because all the characters are interesting. You don't like one character all their arcs are good, and they gave them. I was telling my wife it didn't go the way that you thought it would for some of the characters. Like you thought like certain characters were just going to
Rebecca.
be a certain way. Yeah, and they really kind of made everybody.
Rebecca, Keeley.
They made everybody multi-dimensional, which is nice. And
I like my favorite part is when Jamie is in front of Beard and he goes, "I never know how to talk to you."
he's like, "Oh, then it's working."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just walks away.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's a fun show. That if you like soccer, you're not going to really enjoy it because soccer's about 10% of the whole show. It's really not that much.
I was watching some interviews and they said that they're like, my dad's a huge football fan, but when he watched it, he didn't even mind it at the end because he cared about the show.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. It's more about how it makes you feel than anything else.
Oh, good analysis.
Yeah.
I can't see you, Patrick. It's weird.
Makes me feel good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, it's a very feel good show. It's a very comforting because the character of Ted Lasso is so relentlessly positive, almost aggressively positive, I would say.
Yeah.
That
But I feel like it changed everyone around him because of that.
it did. And there's something that happens in the finale that I don't want to say because I don't want to give anything away if you haven't seen it. But the season 1 finale, I will say that the season 1 finale really, even though there's not a lot of soccer in it or football, I'm sorry, there is the finale really captures the agony and ecstasy of loving a team, any team.
Yeah.
So they really did a good job with that. But there is a turn. There is something that happens in the finale where you realize that people are paying attention to Ted, even though that he seems like nobody's really. So it was a nice moment. It was a really nice moment. But I highly recommend, if you don't have Apple TV, wait 3 weeks because it's going to be done, and then you can just binge the whole thing. Get a free trial and binge it in like a week. Because I watch it.
Are they doing a third season?
Oh yeah, it's going to be on forever,
I'm
man.
sure they will.
Yeah.
I hope so.
This season is, you can tell they're setting this season 2, they're setting everybody up to have like bigger arcs going forward. Yeah. So season next episode is this Friday, but I highly recommend. So thanks for discussing. I'm glad that I have people to talk about it with.
I really enjoy it.
Who's your favorite, Justine?
Keely and Roy.
See, that's a spoiler.
No, I just like Keely and I just like Roy.
That's a spoiler.
He's here. He's there.
Patrick, how about you?
Ted, he surprises me all the time.
I just wish he wasn't so much like Ned Flanders. That's the only thing that kind of where I can't embrace him as a fully original character.
Ned Flanders, though.
He looks like Ned. He talks like Ned.
Oh my God! Did you his 70th, the last episode when he's like, "That's a joke for people born in the 70s, mid 70s."
Yep. That's a
He explained his because I was like, "Huh?" Then he explained his joke right after.
that's a
and I
joke for
just
people that were
died.
born in the mid to late
I
70s.
died.
It was actually true. I can't tell you what the
When
joke
I
is.
looked it up, I remembered that image of them. I've seen that show. I've just never actually sat and watched it. I just know of it. But I died when he did that because I just sat there like, what did he just say?
Because he said I need to talk to HR, and he's like, well tell Mr. Puffin stuff. I said hello, and he's like, that's a joke.
My God.
Then he goes, he immediately follows up with, that's a joke for people that were born in the mid to late 70s. No, the early to mid 70s is what he said.
Born in the
Jesus.
70s, yeah, to mid 70s. He says it right after, and I just busted out laughing.
Because they're looking at him like, what the hell? How have you been? Good. Glad to hear it.
Good. Yep.
I got nothing from you guys. All right.
Doing great.
Justine, what else are you watching?
Oh God,
Oh, yeah.
finally watched Summer of Soul.
Did you love it?
Hey, what'd you think?
It was good.
Did you cry?
No,
So it's great. Did you cry? No? Why?
Why not?
Why should I cry?
Some of that footage was
it
really
was
amazing.
great. I wonder if he won. Did he win anything yet for it, or it just came out?
It just came out, so I don't. It's probably up for consideration for something. I would hope. Some of that
and
footage
then
was
I-
amazing.
Yeah.
All that footage was amazing, actually.
And just sitting in a basement somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. It was good enough that they could have put it out in '69. You know.
I mean, that part I was like, this is bull, but
Bullsh.
Yeah.
It was bullsh. It's all
I
bullshit.
watched Outer Banks. I binged that in 2 days.
How was that?
2 seasons. It's. I don't know. I think I just got sucked into it and I just didn't really care for it, but I just kept watching it.
So you didn't care for it, but you kept watching it.
Yeah, I just couldn't stop watching it.
Sorry for the noise, guys. My mic is doing something weird here. It's the pop
Okay.
filter. It filters out all those little Funko figures. That's what the pop filter does.
You're like, tough room.
Hey, tough room. Hey, hello. Is
Yeah,
this thing on? Hello.
Tough crowd.
Outer Banks. Who's in Outer Banks?
That guy. Oh, he's such a bad guy. I'll let you know in a minute.
All right, Jake. What are you playing these days?
I've been playing a lot of Go. I've
Still?
been really diving into it. Yeah.
This
And
seems
then
this seems annoying now. This seems like
it is annoying. It's just a little bit.
This seems like Sandy. We're gonna have to rescue Sandy. We're gonna have to have an intervention for you. Are you making her play?
Yeah.
Was there
Yeah.
what prompted your interest in Go? Was it because in Animal Crossing there's a Go board?
No, I don't know. You just when you go on those like little YouTube dives where you just start watching weird like random stuff,
Yeah.
and you come out learning some stuff that you didn't necessarily want to learn before.
Yeah.
It was that.
I know a lot about
Listening.
I know a lot about Norwegian geography now because I watch a channel called Rail Cowgirl. She's I think I told you guys she's
It's not what you think it is.
she's a
right?
tra- she's a train driver. She's a train engineer in Norway, and she does POV videos of all of her routes.
Of what?
Oh, that
Of
one,
all
yeah.
of her routes. So she just does they're like these 3-hour super relaxing videos of like the Norwegian countryside. And with like and it's like her routes are amazing. There's waterfalls and rivers. It's really, really cool. So I know
You showed it to us once.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you played it in the
yeah,
background.
we were watching it during the I'm telling you, man, YouTube's crazy.
The guy's name is Charles Eston. Do you know him?
No, I don't. I'd have to see a picture.
He was in The Postman, Nashville. Hold on.
The Postman
Okay.
with Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Is someone being held hostage
Sounds like-
in your house?
Yeah.
That was like Justine was barking. Is that a dog?
Oh, he's asleep.
Yeah, just seems
Yeah. That's not your house.
Jake's
Then.
dog.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't know that guy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's the name again?
Charles Eston.
So he goes way back. He was in Nashville. That goes way back.
No, he's in the show.
Oh, the new
But
Nashville.
He was in
Okay.
The Postman. That's not me.
I don't have a dog, so we'll just have to look at. Oh, maybe it's Patrick's house. Maybe it's Patrick's room. He's got a dog in his room.
Oh, that dog is asleep.
Yeah.
It's a.
There's a dog
Get it out.
outside somebody's window. It's not mine.
It's me. It's me.
Process of elimination.
Yeah, it's me.
It's my Siamese cat.
Jake, how we doing on time?
We got did I say 13? Yeah, 13 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So Go. You're still playing. Are you playing anything on your computer, your video game, your console?
I mean, a little bit of Pokemon Unite on console.
Uh huh.
Pick it up. They're like 10-minute games, so you can pick it up, play a couple times, go back to doing what you're doing. And then I've been playing. There's a new game that came out from Amplitude Studios by the name of Humankind. Plays a lot like kind of like a Civ 6, like grand, like what do you call it, like Civilization
Oh,
management
nice,
game.
nice.
But it's their own little take on it, where like you start off as hunter gatherers, and instead of like immediately founding a settlement, you can like walk around, hunt for hunt game and animals, and develop that way. It's pretty cool.
Do you fight saber-toothed tigers at all?
There's saber-toothed tigers, mammoths, elk. Yeah,
Love it.
big old deer.
I love it.
You get points. You get like influence to then found a city, and you don't found cities right away. You make outposts, which can either be connected to cities or eventually made into their own city. It's pretty cool. A little different mechanic. Turns or like combat or fights can happen over a single turn, but with multiple rounds, as opposed to Civ, where like one like engagement can take several turns. So it kind of speeds up combat a little bit, which is nice.
Jake, let me ask you a question because I feel like you would know this. Did we ever clone that woolly mammoth we found in Siberia? Did that ever happen? That was going on. Whatever happened with that?
I don't think so.
He's Googling.
I highly
it.
doubt it.
I love it. All right. Just
Yeah,
want to know.
researchers cannot clone mammoths because they require living cells, whereas
Yeah, they were going to use elephants. They were going to use elephant DNA.
Yeah, how'd they do that with Jurassic Park? They put in something to fit the gap.
Yeah.
But that was the problem, right? They used like lizard or crocodile DNA.
Dino DNA. I think they used frogs and they amphibian DNA. Is that what happened? I can't remember. Jake, you're the Jurassic Park expert. What did they use, what did they use in Jurassic Park?
it's frog DNA.
Yeah, frog.
Yeah, because frogs can change their sex depending on the population.
Dino
That's
DNA.
That's how the dinosaurs are able to reproduce.
I love that the guy says dinosaurs.
Yep. And it's also why they're able to explain like why the dinosaurs in the movies don't necessarily look like what we think dinosaurs would actually look like, because they have frog DNA.
John, do you remember?
That's great.
Do you remember The Last Dinosaur? A 70s TV movie with
No.
Oh, you don't remember this?
No.
It was. I remember it as a kid. I saw it as a kid, and I
TV
remember.
movie?
I remember the. It was a 77. It was made in 1977. Let me tell you who's in it, man. Your boy Richard Boone, and
Oh yeah.
and Joan Van Ark. And it's all,
really?
And it's all about this guy that I guess was it's kind of like a Lost World kind of thing where they were. I remember they drill into this primeval world, and then he's hunting this Tyrannosaurus Rex. And when I was a kid, it was very impressive. And then I recently saw clips of it. It looks terrible. It looks terrible.
It was so bad.
It was shot with basically with the same production company that did I believe it was Ultraman and all that. So it looked really terrible. But when I was a kid, it was pretty cool. I just remember he had a rifle and he was trying to kill this Tyrannosaurus Rex.
So how are they doing the dinosaurs? Is it like a lizard with a fin tied to it? Or?
No, it's like puppets. It's like puppets in stop motion.
That looks like a suit.
Yeah. Look, Google it. Google it. The Last Dinosaur. Boy, I love that movie. I love that movie when I was a kid.
Movies.
Yeah. Remember when TV movies were a thing?
Yeah, like every week, every network had like a TV movie. Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, that's how we saw.
Is it
that's how we saw
related to
Duel.
The Last Unicorn?
What's that?
The Last Unicorn.
Is it related to The Last Unicorn?
Yes,
the next chapter?
except without Christopher Lee.
They used horse DNA. They couldn't get a unicorn DNA, so they used a horse.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite era in prehistory, guys? Do you like the dinosaur era, or do you like the era with the big dumb mammals? What's better?
Big dumb mammals.
I'm gonna go dumb mammals. I feel like that's the safe answer here.
You feel like you feel like you'd rather go back in time and see some saber-toothed tigers, see some buck-toothed tigers, rather than like a dinosaur?
I wouldn't want to go back anyways. I'm gonna die.
No, you're not.
No, you're a white guy.
Yeah.
What about saying that a white guy in the land of the dinosaurs would survive?
Yes. Didn't you see Land of the Lost?
Haven't you seen the movies?
I want to go back to the time where pterodactyls coexist with Raquel Welch.
Yes.
Can I go back to that time period where she's like the queen of the shell people or something?
Yeah. Stanley Kubrick's 1 million years BC. Can you imagine if Kubrick had done that and they had been Raquel Welch would had like the ape mask on in the beginning of that would have been great.
I can imagine.
That would have been great.
Yeah. It would have taken 5 years to film, and he would have gone to great lengths to make sure she looked like a real cave woman.
Yeah, just messed up.
Somebody would have said, "You're missing the point. She's supposed to be in a fur bikini."
Yeah.
Not.
Jake, I derailed you though, but we're gonna play this game called Humankind. It's on PC.
I think it's just PC.
All right.
It might be on console though.
Hey, that's weird. Look at Justine's screen. I'm sorry, I interrupted. It looks like it's a reflection of the outdoors. It looks like she's outdoors now.
No, it's a reflection of the fan.
No, I know that, but it's weird because of the way it looks. It looks like it's the outside of a house or something.
Really? John, what do you got for us?
Not a damn thing. Except last night, TCM does those all through August. They do these one-day film festivals. It's one actor all day long. So last night it was Frederick March.
Nice.
So I watched I Married a Witch and The Best Years of Our Lives, and of course the original Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Wow. I forgot
which really holds up. It's amazing. A movie that's like 90 years old, and that one really holds up, and the makeup is impeccable, and he transforms right on camera, and it's not done with like stopping the camera. It's right on camera. He's looking in a mirror and he's changing right before your eyes. Pretty amazing for 90 years ago.
Frederick March was in I Married a Witch also, which you mentioned. And that was the movie we talked about that Veronica Lake followed up with after Sullivan's Travels. That's the movie she did after Sullivan's Travels, right? When they didn't want to work with her
Right,
anymore.
and I think they asked Joel McCrea. I think Preston Sturges was a producer on I Married a Witch. And I think they were going to get Joel McCrea to play the lead, and he said, I don't want to work with her again. I've had my fill. I don't want to do it again.
Wow.
And then when it was over, Frederick March was like, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
That's great.
So I guess she was difficult. You'd never know it because she comes off great on screen, but I guess she was difficult.
It happens. Patrick, are you reading anything, honey?
Right now, I read the second issue of Moon Knight, still fantastic. And I am also on, I have a first compendium of Spawn. Because I figured why not? It sounded like fun, so it's been good so far.
All right.
Is that a reboot of Spawn?
No, it's just a collection of the original.
So it's the Todd McFarlane.
Is somebody rebooting Spawn right now?
I don't think so.
I thought I saw something like somebody was trying to reboot it.
Get me, I'm E.T. Look at me, huh? I'm the extraterrestrial.
Look at you.
See it? Can
It's great. It's great radio.
yeah. Be good. All right, guys. Let's take a quick break because we're going to wonder what the hell I'm talking about. But there's a reflection of a light in the TV behind me, and if I hold up my finger, it looks like the end of my finger's glowing.
It certainly does.
So I'm doing be good. All right, guys. We'll be right back. When we come back, it's trivia time, and then we're going to talk about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, or as Justine likes to call it, what the hell did I just watch? So we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. It was a lovely little break. Did everybody get to go potty?
Yep.
Nope. Justine, you didn't go potty? Do you need to go?
No, do you want me to go?
No. Trivia time. The game is called I Should Have Known That. By the way, Besotted Geek said internet trivia was good. So we'll be doing that again.
Smarty pants.
Yeah,
There's
well-
always someone who doesn't like it, so
All right, here we go.
they
Jake.
can suck.
We're starting with Jake here, randomly. How many pieces does each player have at the start of a chess game?
Of a chess game?
Yes.
Oh God. You go 2 rooks, knights, 2 bishops. 16.
That's right.
How about that?
Patrick, what is a box for storing cigars called?
Humidor?
Justine, how many stomachs does a cow have?
Ooh. 3?
4.
4. I said 4.
Oh,
John, how long does it typically take for an alarm to go off again after the snooze button is hit?
Half hour.
No. 9 minutes. 9 minutes.
That's 9 minutes? That was 5 minutes.
Jake, daisies and brownies are the first 2 membership levels of what organization?
Oh, that's Girl Scouts?
That's right. Patrick, what kind of animal is a gecko?
lizard?
Jake's going to know this easily. What is the Amsterdam district of De Wallen, I guess, more commonly known as?
Amsterdam? Is that the red light district?
It is.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
What?
What is the
You heard that.
I knew it.
Patrick,
I know
this
it.
is a
What about
battle. Patrick, what is the clothing worn by surgeons and other medical professionals called?
Scrubs.
Correct. All right, here we go. Jake, this is a volley. This is like the game of words in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern right now.
We're having a tennis match here, yeah.
I forgot who I was asking.
Me.
Oh, Jake. What musical and film centers on Austria and the family of Captain George von Trapp?
Sound of Music. Right?
Correct. Patrick, art question. What painter cut off his own ear?
Van Gogh.
Oh my God.
What?
Van Gogh.
Correct. Actually, if you watch Doctor Who, it's Van Gogh.
Yeah, it's Van Gogh.
What is the capital of Australia, Jake? What is the capital of Australia?
Oh Jesus. Geography. I'm terrible.
This is hard. This is actually difficult, unless you're. Apologies to our Australian listeners, but this is not the first city you think of when you think of Australia.
I'm gonna just say Brisbane, knowing it's not it.
It is not. It is Canberra.
Oh,
Canberra.
yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
And then, so Patrick, you're the winner, but let's see if we can answer the bonus question here. Leonardo DiCaprio acted in the film Titanic in 1997. Who was his leading lady?
I don't know her name, so I'm not gonna get that one right.
And he painted her like one of his French girls. It was Kate Winslet.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Kate Winslet.
That's it.
Oh my God. I just saw the next question, and it is a gimme for whoever gets it. Oh, actually, it might not be. It might not be, because technically, I don't know what the answer is, but I know what you could technically get the wrong answer. Well, that was a fun game. Good job, Patrick. Good job of doing some
Thank
trivia.
you.
We haven't worked our way through that deck yet. I'm a little concerned how many questions remain. We're gonna have to get another.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pull from the internet.
We're gonna have to pull from the internet, and we know how bad you guys are at that.
Oh, we were
God,
horrible.
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I'm like Alex Trebek, where I make it seem like I knew the answer the whole time, but I didn't. So I really that's my shout out to Alex Trebek right there.
I mean, we were definitely fooled. I'll be honest.
Thank you, guys. It's time for the Digital Movie Club. I can't. I'm not in full voice today.
It's okay.
Why is that?
I've got this weird little. I've got a weird cough that I can't get. It's like this cough, head cold. Not a head cold, but it could be allergy. No, I already got tested twice. I was tested twice last week. Both came back negative. Once for a personality and once for empathy. Justine's doing a nice little. Justine's doing a nice little impersonation of me, but it looks like I'm doing the penguin laugh. Like I'm just kind of going. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah.
It looked like she was doing a ventriloquist's dummy.
Yeah, you should do that again, Justine. You look like one of the Charlie Brown kids. Do it again. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the
Now go.
new.
And then they take a breath. It's creepy when they take a breath. It's all.
John, those kids are probably all about your age, right?
Older.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it came out in '65. I think those kids were probably like 8 or 9 when they did it. Yeah.
Oh, maybe a little older than John. Okay. I highly recommend the Snoopy Show if you want to upset Justine on the. Justine,
I don't know. It just sounds like it sounds like it's like Tom and Jerry, just a bunch of running around and no talking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody likes that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I could turn this. All right, perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Who likes cartoon classics anymore?
I do. I tend to enjoy the cartoon classics. All right. It is now time. That's our new Digital Movie Club theme. Does anyone know the name of that song? If you
I've
know,
been trying to find out. It's canned. It's canned music. Yeah.
If you know the name of that song, please tell us.
I'm going to guess that there isn't even a title, but it's like, it's like shelf A3 or something. It's just canned music, I think.
Please tell us the name of that song.
Ba 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 wah, da 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 da
You guys, do you guys know what song we're talking about?
Poor Mario. You know what song we're talking about? Like
These
No idea.
because it was it's like public domain because every kid show had that at the finale. You know, like Wonderama or you know Mario. Yeah, that's it. So Google doesn't know what that is when you play it.
Nope.
You know when you push the button, it doesn't tell you anything, huh?
I'm looking in the comment section of this YouTube video.
But if you played that for like Siri or Google Assistant, it wouldn't tell you.
No. Oh, here, let's find out. Alexa,
I bet you. Yeah.
what song is this?
This is AM 570 LA Sports.
Oh, no. Alexa, can you identify this song? No, she just shut it off. But the comment section is full of people saying, it's full of people saying they don't know the name of this song.
Okay, so people are trying to find out.
Yep. Yeah, it's full.
All
And
right.
this is from years ago. People are. Yeah.
I'm gonna work on it. But the last time you said that like months ago, and I couldn't get anywhere with that. You know.
How about that, huh? That is our new Digital Movie Club theme, all right?
I like it.
That's for today. So welcome to the Digital Movie Club. Patrick, do you want to tell us about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead?
Yes, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead released worldwide February 8th, 1991. Had a small release in some minor film festivals in 1990, but box office or budget was $2.43 million, with a whopping success of $749,000.
Yes. It's actually
got a
won.
se-
It's actually won Best Picture at the Venice Film Festival, but was not
Got a
given.
7.4 on IMDb, a 61% on Rotten Tomatoes, starring Gary Oldman, Tim Roth, and directed by Tom Stoppard.
Don't forget Ricard Dreyfuss. You forgot Ricard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this is the biggest problem with this movie is that it's based on a play, and it feels like a play, obviously, because it's basically Hamlet from the point of view of two minor characters. But what starts out as kind of a little spin on Hamlet turns into this really kind of ongoing rumination on sort of death and the idea that these characters are part of a play. They kind of come to consciousness. It's kind of weird the way they kind of set it up. They kind of imply that the characters didn't exist before they were called for in the movie. So they're really just characters in a play that have come to life, and they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on and why everything is weird where they are. But it features two really great performances by Tim Roth and Gary Oldman. So if you just want to see them doing something different, this is the movie for you. And it's a little bit, it's a little absurdist. It's kind of hard to, it's very hard to explain to someone if you haven't seen it. But I highly recommend, if you're even vaguely familiar with Hamlet, I suggest checking it out. Or if you're a fan of Gary Oldman or Tim Roth. I myself am a huge. If you only know Gary Oldman from doing like being the bad guy or saying "Mount the curb" in Dark Knight, then this is the movie for you. Do you like that's my Gary Oldman?
Impressive.
Spot on.
Because you can tell that line was written by someone British trying to sound like an American cop. Mount the curb. They would never say that. We would never say that here in the States.
Having said that, his accent in those movies is impeccable. You'd never know he was British.
Yeah. Yeah. Except for that, when he says mount the curb.
You should have said mind the gap.
Yeah. Well, it's like
Wait,
Tim.
Gary Oldman is also British?
Yes.
Oh, wow, what a great actor.
We're great at these accents.
Oh, well, see, Justine was asking before the show started whether or not Tim Roth was actually American. And so now you didn't know Gary Oldman was British either. Wow, Justine, see? That's acting. Acting.
Amazing.
I mean, I thought they did a great accent.
I'll tell you what.
Americans don't do great British accents, but in the inverse, Brits do great American accents.
Yes. I will tell you what, though, it does get mentioned in Ted Lasso. The what's her name?
Yeah.
Zellweger does do a great British accent in the Bridget Jones movies.
He mentions Mary Poppins too, though.
Oh, yeah. He does say Dick Van Dyke, the possessor of the greatest British accent in all of cinema history. And he seems sincere. He seems sincere when he says it too. That's what's funny about it.
Maybe he believes it, yeah.
Yeah. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I think they're talking about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, you. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, we love you.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
John, did you love that as a kid? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
No. I didn't like Mary Poppins as a kid. I thought it was a little, just too syrupy. The one we liked was Willy Wonka because we all liked Gene Wilder. So it was like, and he seemed like he was probably like psychotic. So we're like, okay, this is the one that works.
Okay, so Mary Poppins, you weren't down with Mary. I was not a fan of Mary Poppins either when I was a kid.
Are you down with Mary Poppins? Poppins?
I'm not. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Justine muted herself there.
I was so mind blown by her suitcase or her bag
Yeah. You weren't
That was
hopping
like-
for the Poppins, man?
when she takes the
What
What
did
is
you
it?
say, Jake?
I don't know. I don't think we
Yeah,
should
what did
talk
she
about
pull?
what he
She
said.
pulls something
Poppins for the
crazy.
Poppins.
She pulls something
like a
crazy out of
lamp.
that bag.
pulls
Yeah.
a lamp out and she's like keeps I'm like, what? And then they show the kids underneath and I was just as mind blown as them.
Yeah.
Also, the umbrella has like a parrot on the end that rolls its eyes. You're like, Jesus, what the hell's going on here? Isn't like a bird on the end of her umbrella? The handle's got like a bird's head.
The parrot, yeah.
I think I finally watched all of Mary Poppins once. I sat through the whole thing once because I had seen clips of it here or there. But when Disney Plus first started, I think I was like, I'm going to sit down and watch this. And I watched it, and I can't remember any of it.
The problem is if you watch it, unless you're like 5 when you first see it, if you watch it as an adult, it's going to be tough going,
Yeah. Dick Van
I
Dyke,
was much older.
As much as we love Dick Van Dyke on his TV show, he's not great as doing a British accent. But he is a great physical comedian. He can dance and do all the stuff that he needs to do. He just shouldn't be doing that accent. Excuse me. Whoa. Excuse me. Had a little chorizo burrito that I had for breakfast.
Patrick, could you turn on the Skrillex music, please?
Patrick doesn't want to show his face because he's got a Skrillex haircut. That's what happened.
It's definitely what it is.
By the
You
way,
should mute.
$5. If I will pay anyone who doesn't believe that Patrick looks like Gary Oldman in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, they have to pay me $5.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Justine, what did you see?
John, I don't see it either.
I
There are,
absolutely.
there are people Patrick looks like, but I don't think Gary Oldman's one of them.
Oh yeah, in this movie he
I
kind
don't
of
see it.
in this
I
movie
see
he,
it.
it kind of looked like it. He had the same face. Just grow his hair out a little. Grow out his hair out a
I
little.
think Mario's just really hoping.
Grow his hair out, get a little older, change his face a little bit, looks just like him.
No.
I love it. Change his DNA, carve his face off. Yeah, it looks just like him.
Get rid of the Proud Boy haircut. Give him a little. Give him that.
Whoa.
What? What? What?
Wow.
I can't see him, so his reaction is not ready.
I love it. You're like, for all I know, that is the haircut.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. Who here is most familiar with the original Hamlet? Who here is the most familiar with Hamlet?
Is that like a small piece of ham? Like what is?
It is. It's a little hamlet. I didn't want the whole
Okay.
the whole piece.
Oh,
I
this
don't
is
want the
pig.
whole ham, just a hamlet. Yes.
Oh, there's the
like
cat.
a little breakfast
Mm-hmm.
with a little piece of bread.
A hamlet is also a small town, a small village, a village. The hamlet of Goleta, California.
Of a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Justine, let's talk about it. What did you think? Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. What were you expecting? What did you think? What were your thoughts?
I was lost,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was still lost.
Yes.
I really enjoyed the parts where it wasn't about what was happening in the movie.
Uh-huh. When they were just kind of doing weird things.
Yeah, and it was just funny to me.
Yeah.
When they were, the coin thing made me laugh. The part where they're even playing, what were they playing?
The word game.
Question.
Not tennis. It's like badminton. No, I don't even know.
Yeah, it was like yeah. I love that
That
for
was funny.
I love that for a second he discovers gravity because he drops the two things back in the thing at the same time, and then when he tries to show him, it
It
doesn't.
should be faster.
It doesn't work.
And then he goes, oh.
It doesn't work.
The whole like them just being them was great. I didn't care for anything else, but I do like Ian. Is his name Ian? Lane Glenn, whatever his name is.
Who's that?
Oh, Hamlet. Hamlet himself.
Oh yes. He's very good.
Yeah. I
Uh,
don't think he's good looking and young, but I know he grows up to be good looking.
where does he? Where do we know him from?
Game of Thrones,
Oh, who does he grow up to be?
Who is he in Game of Thrones?
Jorah.
Hello, Kalishi.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah.
Sir Jorah.
Is
Yes,
that
sir.
right?
I didn't even.
Jorah
Yes.
Mormont.
I didn't,
Jorah Mormont.
I didn't
Wow.
even.
100%.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize it was him.
Wow.
Yeah, as soon as you see his face, you're like, that's him, but
Oh.
young.
I didn't
Wow.
see
I'll
it.
have to go back and look. I'll have to go back and look. I don't. Yeah. Wow.
Season 8 kind of wiped my memory of anything that happened in seasons 1
Wow.
through 7 of
You hated
Game
it
of
that
Thrones.
much. Huh?
Yeah, kind of ruined it for me. Sir
Wow.
Jorah.
The whole season.
It's okay.
I didn't even realize that. Good call, Justine.
Me neither.
That's why you're on this
Wow,
show.
how about
You are
that?
clutch, man. You are clutch. So you didn't care about all the Hamlet stuff. You just like them as like a comedy team, which they are. They are great together. They are really good together.
Yeah, and then seeing Richard Dreyfuss was okay. I didn't care until they actually got into their play, and I was watching how they were doing the blood part, like when they were actually doing a little mini play.
Yeah,
That's when it was actually entertaining, because the beginning part, you're like, what was that? Just go
Yeah.
away. Yeah, I didn't really care for that.
they're
It's a bit too long. I don't know.
they're tragedians. All right, they're so basically they're saying like, look, if you want for a little money, you can be part of the action. You know what I'm saying?
For
You
a
know-
little bit of money, you can fuck this dude.
Yep.
He should have said it like that.
Yeah. Hey, for a little bit of cash.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? The coin flip. 100. I like that they just keep counting. He just keeps counting the. So you know something's going on with that. You know, why does it keep? So these questions that keep popping up through the whole movie. So I always that was my always take on that was my take on it was that they, because you can interpret it a lot of ways, but my interpretation is that that these are characters in a play who suddenly have self-awareness and they can't figure out why they didn't exist before. Because he keeps asking them, what's the first thing you remember? You right? And they go, well, we were
Right.
summoned by the king, you know?
Right. No. What's the first thing you remember?
Yeah. After what's the first thing you remember after all the other things you've forgotten? And he's like, oh, yeah. Like, that's going to change the thing. But Patrick, what did you think? Had you seen this before? What did you think of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern?
I'd never seen this before. Honestly, I agree with Justine in a lot of points. Like, it's kind of the best parts of this movie are when it's just the two of them having a conversation and them actually being people, I guess, in an aspect versus, you know, instead of them being like Shakespearean parts, right? Like, you can actually understand what they're going through. You can, you know, feel what, you know, they have going on. And it's it's most entertaining when it's them and just them. I do like the fact that the tragedians are playing out exactly what's happening in Hamlet as it happens.
Which is what happens in the play, right?
Yeah, it's a cool thing, and it's always probably the best part of Hamlet, seeing that. I don't know. I think that it's a little bit too broad, and I think that the problem is, I think that it's suffered a lot for, public audiences as far as being able to be a successful film. It doesn't feel like it's set up for a wider audience.
Yeah, it's a very popular play. It's it's widely considered a great play, and it doesn't always, not all of it translates to film. I think that it's different if you're watching it live. I think that a lot of that,
and it's Tom Stoppard directing his own play, so you probably couldn't have done much better. He did probably as good as you can do with the material, because he said he couldn't find, and he says there's nobody I know who's gonna understand what I'm trying to do. So he said, I've never directed a movie before, but it's gonna have to be me, so that I don't spend the whole time trying to explain what I'm trying to do. I might as well do it myself.
Sure. A lot of that, I think that's ultimately, Patrick, you're right. I think that's what ultimately keeps it from being much more than like a niche or a cult movie, is because it's hard. It's not really, it doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like you're watching a photograph play. Although there are different sets, and they're outside, and they're in the castle, and they're on the ship and all that. It does feel very much like a play. The way the characters enter and disappear and things like that. But I can imagine seeing it as a play is probably pretty. Come in is probably pretty impressive. I would think, depending on who. This thing gets revived like every few years. It has another run. It's always, it's one of those plays that's always playing somewhere. Jake, talk to me.
So I've never seen Hamlet.
Mm-hmm. So
but
for
I
you,
know the general idea. So I'm kind of in that more general audience who may or may not have seen Hamlet, but knows a little bit about it. So I was very lost. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
What's going on? And it took me a minute. I'm like, okay, they're in this play. Got it. They're aware. Okay. So it took me maybe maybe not half the movie, but maybe 45 minutes to fully understand what's going on. But when Rosencrantz and Guildenstern aren't the main focus of the scene, I felt like it was just kind of meandered.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was really happening. It's like everything's happening in the background.
Yes,
which is the whole point.
Yeah,
but I feel like that plays out much better in a play, as opposed to a film where you need to try and maintain people's. I don't know.
Yeah.
For a movie, you have to feel like you have to maintain people's attention,
especially if you're not familiar with the play. Especially if it's something where you're not familiar with, which is fine. I mean, not everybody knows. Trust me, not everybody's reading Shakespeare. I know Hamlet because I had to read it in high school. Otherwise, that wouldn't be something I'd reach for. You know what I mean? That's not
cut. We need a super cut of this movie where they splice in, where they have a movie of Hamlet and they kind of splice in the scenes with Rose.
It's like a Mystery Science Theater version where they're just kind of commenting during the whole thing.
Yeah.
That might work. Yeah, it does help if you know Hamlet, obviously, and you know the play, and you know where it's going, and you know the scenes they're observing. Because they are observing the scenes where they've been called into existence. I think in the play, I think they were school friends of Hamlet, I think. Or they, they were school friends. So they hadn't seen him in a while. And I think they mention it in the play, the king tells him, hey, come and figure out what's wrong with your friend. He's been depressed, so,
Yeah.
And so they're kind of just now watching the goings on in the castle since they've been summoned. Because they just appear, they're in the play very briefly. If you read, they're mentioned, and then at the end, he switches the note and they die. Because they're there to escort him with a note that says, to the King of England, saying, "Hey, kill Hamlet," and he switches the note and says, "Kill Rosencrantz and Guildenstern," and that's how they meet their end in the play. What were you going to say, Justine? Justine, you're muted. What?
You're still muted.
Still muted.
You can.
Didn't you hear us? Oh, it's the construction. It's construction.
There's no construction going on right now.
Well, she was pointing out the window. Are you sure there's no construction?
Yeah, I had just unmuted.
Yep. All from Justine.
What's that? You watching Dukes of Hazzard? Somebody watching Dukes of Hazzard? Oh, that would have been great if you had the guys who played Dukes of Hazzard. If they would have played Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, that would have been.
And then the player king, like Denver Pyle, could have been the player king.
That'd be great.
Who would Roscoe P. Coltrane be? Who would James Best be?
Oh, I don't know. Polonius. I don't know.
Boss Hogg is Polonius.
Boss Hogg is Polonius. Perfect, yeah. Because you can picture him wearing the stuff, with the wacky hat and all that.
Yeah. And then, but then it's weird because what's her name is going to be Daisy Duke.
That is weird.
That's kind of weird. But that is sort of a tragedy in itself. The Dukes of Hazzard. John, your thoughts on Rosencrantz and Guildenstern? They're dead.
I had seen this when it came out. My ex-wife was really into Gary Oldman, so I saw every single movie that Gary Oldman ever did up to a certain point. I like Gary Oldman and Tim Roth. I think they're both great. And so it sort of works, even if you're not familiar with Hamlet. I think it kind of works. This film was always going to have limited appeal because you'd have to care about Shakespeare even to want to see it,
Yeah.
It's fun. It's what I always say about Young Frankenstein. It's fun to a point, but if you're familiar with the old movies, then it's really a lot of fun. So if you know Hamlet, this is probably a hell of a lot more fun. But how many people are that familiar with Hamlet, I had seen the movie with Kenneth Branagh back in the 90s. I guess it was after this. Kenneth Branagh did a 4.5-hour version of Hamlet.
Yeah. With Jack Lemmon.
It was a big deal.
With Jack Lemmon in it.
Right, and Billy Crystal and Robin Williams. Everybody had a part in there. Charlton Heston played the player king. And the thing is, it was the first time anybody had ever filmed the complete play. People had done Hamlet before. Laurence Olivier did Hamlet, but they always cut bits out so that it's a 2-hour movie. So he said, I'm going to do the whole damn text. It's a 4.5-hour movie. They had to do it in intermission. I went to see it with somebody, and it was they had an intermission after like 2 hours. But it was the entire play. And it was impressive. It was really good. But if I hadn't seen that, and I think I even saw the Mel Gibson one for some reason, the Franco Zeffirelli one with Mel Gibson and Glenn Close.
Yeah.
I saw that one too. It's the only, and that was like 20 years ago. It's the only reason I had even a passing understanding of what was going on. I went back and looked at some Cliff Notes. I thought, before I see this, I better look at the Cliff Notes so I just remember who the basic characters are, And so that helped a little bit to kind of jog my memory. There's so many characters.
Sure.
And then, you forget that in that play, everybody is dead. At the end of it, the only guy who's left is that other friend of his. Is it Horatio?
Horatio.
I think Horatio. The only guy who's left standing is Horatio. Then the two guys walk in from England and they make the announcement, right? Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. And you go, God, that's why people always joke about this play. At the end, it's a bloodbath. Everybody is dead except for one guy,
Yeah.
So,
and that is a line.
yeah, I think
that is a
What's
line
that?
that's a line from Hamlet. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. That is.
And I think that was the jumping off point. I'm sure he thought, what would be the silliest thing I can do? These two characters that are barely in it, and that's the ending line. What if the jumping off point is the movie is from their point of view, which they're going to do with Star Trek. What is it? It's going to be the lower. Is it Star Trek where they're doing the lower
decks on Paramount TV?
Yeah. So this concept has been done where you go, what if you take this character who's just not hardly on screen at all or not on stage, and now you're taking it from his point of view. So this is probably the play came out in '66. This is probably one of the first times anybody tried that. Let's take a character that really has very little to do and make it all from their point of view. Now, people have kind of run with it.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun. Like Justine said, it's just kind of fun to watch them going back and forth. Just the physical stuff, the juggling and the wordplay, and they have great chemistry. I think Gary Oldman and Tim Roth both have great chemistry in this. and it's kind of like Waiting for Godot. I don't know if you ever saw that. It's got all this sort of, this sort of deep dish philosophical sort of thinking and, contemplating all these heavy questions. But in the end, you need two comedians in a way. I think the original cast of Waiting for Godot had like Bert Lahr was one of the original guys. Because they said what you need are people that are like good physical comedians. I think the other guy that was in it in the revival was Bill Irwin, who was a juggler. And I think Mike Nichols tried to revive it with Steve Martin and Robin Williams.
Oh, wow.
Because what you need for something like this or Waiting for Godot is you need people who are good actors, but you also need people who are good like physical. They can do comedy. They can do the wordplay. They can do the timing. They can do the physical stuff. Because there are certain scenes in this movie where it's almost like Laurel and Hardy. They're doing great physical, falling through trap doors and pratfalls, and I think they pull all of that off.
Yes.
I think it's just as important that they can pull that stuff off.
It's great how physical Gary Oldman is in this, and Tim Roth does like a great slow burn. Tim Roth is obviously the smarter one, right? Gary
Right.
Oldman's kind of dense. When they're doing that whole thing about Southerly and Easterly. And then Tim Roth thinks he's smart. Then he kind of gets confused, and he's they're talking about what time of day is it, and all that stuff is great. And you're kind of watching them do, because we're used to we're used to seeing them
good at it.
Yeah, we're used to seeing them as kind of scumbags sometimes.
How many times have both those guys have played really bad guys in the movies?
Yeah.
So to see him playing sort of like these dim bulbs and very comedic, it's great. It just goes to show you how good they are. It's kind of it's a lot of fun just to watch them. It's a hell of a lot of fun just to watch them sort of interacting. And then if you are familiar at all with the play, then other things come into focus, and it's a little more fun. I think Richard Dreyfuss does a great job. I've always liked him as an actor, and you can tell he's having a really good time as that character.
Yes, yeah, playing him very well, and just a lot of fun dialogue for him to spout off.
He must have had. I think the three of them probably had the time of their lives to doing something like this. And it's the sort of thing you wonder. God, I wonder how many theaters this played in. You know what I mean? Something like this. It's like it's not going to be general release.
Yeah.
And so the budget. I think they shot this all in like Yugoslavia, because that's where you can find the cobblestones and the castles, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
That's where they film a lot, where they're doing like Shakespeare and period pieces. That's usually where they go, is like Eastern Europe, because you don't want to be paying somebody at the Universal backlot,
Yeah. Or you make the 12 chairs there.
Exactly. And it always looks right. It always looks like it's 300 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, but I hadn't seen it probably in 30 years. So
did it hold up for you?
Sure, because they're so good. The thing, this thing either makes it or it doesn't make it, completely based on how good the two leads are. And because they're so good and they have such chemistry, that's what makes it fun. And like all great sort of comedy teams, they're both dumb. One's a little smarter.
Yeah.
You find that with every comedy team. The Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, it's always like they're both dumb. One's a little less dumb. One's a little more on the ball,
Yeah, I found myself wondering watching this time what the info. It did remind me a lot of Laurel and Hardy, where Ollie's a little smarter, but he's still pretty dumb too.
I kept waiting for like Tim Roth to do the thing where he looks at the screen, doing the, but he did these great sort of like eye rolls and sort of like, just his body language is like, ugh.
Yeah.
Do I have to explain it again?
Justine, can I ask you a completely loaded sexist question?
Go ahead.
Who was
There's no
hotter?
hammering.
Who was hotter, Rosencrantz or Guildenstern?
That tells me neither.
That's tough. Maybe Oldman was better looking.
Yeah, because he looks like Patrick. See, point proven.
There you go.
Point proven, Patrick. You look like Gary Oldman.
Made the right choice.
You tricked me. It's a trap.
Wait till Patrick gives himself the Fifth Element haircut. Then you'll really say he looks like
Wow, with the plexiglass patch and all that.
Yeah.
I could never figure out what the hell was going on there. It's like a Hitler haircut, but then he's got like this plexiglass, this clear plastic patch that covers half the head or something.
That's a movie people love. All right.
I love it.
I know. I'm alone in this camp, but I'm alone in this of not liking. I'm alone not liking Fifth Element.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry. I'm sorry, but you know, I can't. Chris Tucker ruins it for me. Sorry.
Well, if I could edit something out of the movie, it would be Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Jar Jar Binks. When I'm watching The Fifth Element, I think it's like the Jar Jar Binks problem. Is there a way to just cut him out of the movie?
Well, you know, I don't know.
And I like Chris Tucker, but in that movie, he's really annoying.
Yeah. Love him in Rush Hour. Love him in Friday. Love him in.
There you go.
Yeah. But all right, let's rank Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. We're not talking about Friday. We're not talking about Fifth Element. We're talking Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Justine, rank it.
I'll give it a 3.
Whoa, Patrick,
I'm gonna give it like a 5. I think.
Jake, cuddling with a kitty.
I agree with the 5.
Is that a Jasper or is that a?
This is a Jasper.
That's Jasper. Look at his little leg. Look at his little leg moving, Mikey. Look at his little legs.
He doesn't like this at all.
No, he doesn't. The cats do not like. No, my cat hates to be held like a baby, so that's what my wife does. Oh yeah,
belly pat.
He hates it.
He hates it.
He hates every second of it. John, what do you give the old Rosencrantz and Guildenstern?
I give it a 7. It's a lot of fun.
I'm going to give it a 7 as well, John. Good for you. See, kids today with their what's the word I'm looking for?
Hip hop.
Kids with their dang hip hop music.
Justine, what's on tap for next week, Justine?
City Slickers.
Oh my
1971.
gosh, I haven't seen this movie in years. Let's see if it holds up.
Jack Palance.
Have you seen this before, Justine?
No.
Patrick?
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Who's
I've
in
seen
it?
City Slickers before.
Billy Crystal and Jack Palance.
How about Jake?
Jake, have you seen City
Never in my
Slickers?
life.
Oh,
And he's
Daniel
the comedy
Stern.
guy.
Daniel
Jake's
Stern.
the comedy guy.
Yeah. We're not watching City Slickers 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold. We're watching City Slickers.
Oh, good.
And then after that, what's after that, Justine? After City Slickers, it is like
That is it's gonna be The Rocketeer,
oh, John.
Terminator 2,
Oh.
Oh, John.
The Commitments,
Oh.
Oh,
The what?
Undiscovered Country.
What's up?
Speaking of the Rocketeer, they're coming out with a show on Disney Plus. They're working on it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Justine, what was before Undiscovered Country?
Before Star Trek, The Commitments.
Oh.
oh.
Has anyone seen that aside from me and John?
Nope.
Oh, you're
No,
in.
but I've been trying to get Patrick on that.
Really?
Put a ring on it. Put a ring on
it. Is that true, Justine?
It's only been like 10 years.
Wow, it's starting to come out on the show. This is not good,
And
Patrick.
did you see that coming? That was like out of left field. That was just like crazy.
Patrick, you better get on it, bro. I'm just saying, for your own health and safety.
Yeah, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
If you feel like Patrick should put a ring on it, hit him up on Twitter at PDMac.
Oh no! You can get blasted.
What's your Twitter handle, Patrick?
It's PDMax779.
You're a
It'd be
good
great
friend.
if Patrick said Twitter. I have no Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Is he still there?
Tell him how you really feel.
Patrick is checked out. Are you, Justine? Is this going to affect the rest of the afternoon?
No, he needs me today. I'm his driver.
Whoa.
Patrick went to go take a shower in the middle of the show. Patrick, are you okay? How do
Smell
you
him from here.
respond to these allegations, Patrick?
His mic's off.
He's not talking. Dude. I know you can hear me.
Did you cross a line? Did you cross a line doing this on the air?
Her smile would say that she's.
You heard his feelings when you said
Her smile tells me, what if he came in with a ring right now? What if he did? Like right on the air, just came in, popped in your room, dropped on a knee,
I would definitely say, what the F is happening?
dropped on a knee, and pulled out a little
Not
orphan
even.
Annie Dakota ring.
No,
And was
he'd
just like-
open the door. He'd open the door and throw her a ring. Here,
Mhm.
you're married now.
Fine.
If it's
Fine,
if
here,
I
you
know
have it.
Patrick,
Okay,
he's a romantic. It's going to be at the bottom of a bottom of the bowl of ramen. That's what's going to happen.
Mm.
She's going to finish her spicy beef ramen, and then at the bottom there's going to be a.
Yeah. You are the noodle. You are the noodle
that's
to
not
my.
his love language.
What
You're
is
the
your
noodles for ramen.
Justine? What's your birthstone?
Aquamarine.
Oh, that would make a beautiful engagement ring. Little aquamarine.
Yeah, yeah, Patrick.
Or
it would
even
make a
just
great
like a
engagement
birthday
ring.
gift, you know?
yeah. I'm
Yeah, Patrick, it would make a great wedding ring.
I'm giving him ideas. I'm giving him
Yeah.
ideas.
I think he's left the country. I don't think he's there anymore.
Patrick's not. He is not talking,
He
man.
doesn't need ideas. He's seen what I wanted for a few years now.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
Yeah, but
Do you
there's
just post it? Do you just post it on his door every morning? Just the photo of the ring you want?
there's
No,
other.
I think I'm just going to be the one that's going to end up buying it, though.
But Justine, there's other things to buy, and that's evidenced by every week in the comic book shop when he walks away with a new statuette or some rare volume of something that. I mean, so there's other things to buy, Justine. So you really have to be. Don't be selfish.
I need to be very considerate.
There's more important things to buy.
It's all right. I'm saving up for it.
For what? Are you
Ring.
Are you going to ask him?
ring.
Are you going to pop the question?
No, I'm just probably going to buy the ring and be like, guess what?
We're engaged. That's how you do it. You're just gonna.
We're engaged.
Is this like frog DNA where you can reproduce yourself?
We're going to Vegas. I already signed the papers. This is just a formality.
Would it be romantic if he did it on the podcast? Like if he came in and was like, and then our 13 listeners could be like, "Holy shit, this is fantastic."
I don't really care either way.
This is a genius plan by Patrick because he's just worn you down. So like over the years, you've diminished
I'm just like,
your
I don't
expectations, and so finally he's going to get to a point where you're just going to be like, okay, fine, whatever, and that's when he makes his move.
Well, he's like, you already bought off the ring and you're already ready? Sure.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's probably the way to do it. Yeah.
knowing Patrick though, knowing what he did with like our logo, things like that, the way he just kind of sprung it on us. He's got something in the works, and I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, just knowing what I know about him.
He's trying to
Yeah.
hire the Spice Girls to sing.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Wow.
that's not his
Me.
love language.
Well,
What's
Patrick,
that?
what's not his love language?
That's not his love language. You guys should already know his love language because he does it all the time.
What's up?
He's gonna sock you in the arm, saying, "Hey, marry me." That's
Yeah,
his
that's
love
kind of
language.
like that's like a Brady Bunch thing. It's like want to go steady and yeah, soccer in the arm.
Is his love language when he walks up and like just squeezes your ass, like just kind of gently, like he does to me and Jake? Or
He's obviously not a touchy person. That's not a love. It's definitely not his love language.
no?
You guys should know that. Otherwise, you'd be seeing him embracing Jake.
But Patrick's
Oh,
love
wow.
language. Patrick's love language is gift giving, though. He does give gifts.
It's buying it.
Yeah, he likes to buy things. He likes to spend money.
Yep.
He'll
there
buy-
you go.
He'll
Just
buy.
told you guys. You guys know his love language because you've seen it.
Yeah,
How he cares about you guys is him giving you
yeah.
either paying for it or giving you the gift of it with these little.
Yeah,
That is his love language.
yeah.
My love
Yes,
language is
he
yelling.
loves you.
My
That was great. The hands under the chin.
Where's Patrick right now? He just left. How much time do we have left, Jake?
10 minutes, it says. At
10
the top,
minutes?
It says 10 minutes.
Good, because
I think what
I'm really
Patrick's
enjoying
doing
the.
is-
Oh, you guys have a timer on yours. I don't have a timer here.
yeah, it says 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe Patrick's right now getting a blimp to go past your window saying, "Will you marry me?"
Yeah.
I think that's.
I think Jake said it best. What if he's waiting to get all the Spice Girls together?
You know how hard it would be to get every last Spice Girl. There's always a holdout.
They didn't even all tour together in the last.
What's that mean? That's what Patrick's waiting for.
When you who was missing when you saw him in England?
Posh. It was Victoria Beckham.
Oh, because
Okay.
she doesn't need it anymore. She's married.
No, but she still got paid.
What? How's that happen?
She
she's
didn't
a
get
Spice
paid as
Girl.
much as them, but she still got money.
Damn.
Wow, how-
Amazing.
That's a hell of a contract.
That's a
Even if
lot.
I'm not there, you pay me. Gee, they got a good business manager.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I don't care. You pay me. It's the brand. You're buying the brand. I'm on the posters. You pay me.
I love it.
Wow.
That sounds
crazy.
nice.
If you want to be.
I love how Mario can even barely sing it, even just to be funny. He can barely get it out.
Well, I want
It
Patrick.
almost
To,
sounds like
I feel like.
I'm impressed with his words. He knows some words. He's
I
not
feel like.
just-
I feel like Patrick is going to do this big production where he's going to be like, "If you want to be my Heina," and then he's going to start doing like these like do like a dance with, it, and he's going to drop the ring on you.
Well, Mario, what's your love language? Do you
Uh,
know what they were?
Nicole and I did this thing. My love language is Nicole. Help me out. I think it was.
There's words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts.
I'm definitely physical touch. I want to be.
I would say that too because you're definitely a toucher. I would say.
Whoa, 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 whoa! What does that mean?
you're touchy feely.
Yeah, always.
No, but I like
the
to,
hugs and all that.
No, I want people to scratch my back, crack my back.
He usually will crack his knuckles on my back. Like he'll walk by and just like does like a little crack in his knuckles. I'm like, I don't know if this was nice or not.
Nicole's gonna murder.
Glad to be there.
Congratulations, you've been used. You've served your purpose. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
And
But I
he's
love
always
it.
crazy.
I like you enough to use you to crack my finger.
yeah.
He's
I
always
would.
like scratch my back.
If I hated you, I would not crack my knuckles on you.
What I love is when you give Mario a hug, he'll say, "Don't touch me."
I do. You know what's funny? I like physical contact that's very, very like just like cracking my knuckles. It's very non-committal. Like I really don't want to come up and hug you. But I do want to just like some a fist bump. Like
Well, that's what he wants.
yeah. I want
love
like
that.
a fist bump. I don't need to hand.
like on your birthday, I give you a hug and you're like, "Hey, that's great. Don't touch me."
Yeah. I don't need to shake your hand. I don't need the eye contact. A fist bump or like we slap each other, a high five. Like I'm all about that.
It's kind of like a cat. Like I want you to touch me this much, and then I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, John,
It's like
you know,
on my terms.
well,
My
John,
terms.
the thing about hugging John is you want to sink into the hug, and that makes me uncomfortable because I'm not secure in my own manliness. So when I feel it feels comfortable. I'm like, man, I could do this all day. I could just stand here with my head on John's chest, hugging him, and so I'm just like, please don't touch me because I'm gonna just.
Mario's all.
Read me a story, John.
Mario's like, God, he's fat.
No, not at all. You know what it is? You know what it is? It's like when you sit down and you're like, I probably shouldn't sit in this chair because I'm just going to fall asleep. So I'm not going to sit down and,
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. What's your love language, Jake?
I'm touchy feely too, but Patrick has conditioned me to be less so around you.
Well, that is true because Jake and I will.
Like even like the mere mention of physical contact around Patrick, he gets a little uncomfortable.
Justine, this is going to be way too personal and we're running out of time, but is he that way at home? Does he not want you to touch him?
Oh, I barely touched the guy.
Wow.
He gets so mad at me. I get in trouble.
Wow.
I get like a slap, like a.
Like you're a cat.
Man.
Like you're a cat.
He's a cat.
Like you're the
No, he's
needy
a cat.
cat.
Like-
Like, ah,
Like I touched an old lady. That's the kind of smack I get.
So the love languages are you get to it's swearing. What are they? Swearing, eating.
Words of affirmation,
Uh-huh.
physical touch,
Mm-hmm.
quality time, acts of service, and gifts.
I love that. Acts of service. That's so great.
Yeah, like if he
yeah,
like.
that's what they call it.
I feel like
I
that
know.
might be Jake too, but I don't know. I think that's for sure. That's for sure Sandy to you. I would say.
Oh yeah, like hey, let me give you a back rub. Let
She
me cook
bakes
you
the
dinner.
cookies and she
Yeah.
like does these things for him. Like that, I'm pretty sure that's her.
And have you ever met anyone who deserves it less than Jake? Have you? I mean, let's be honest, right? He doesn't. You look at it.
This
and
show
you're
has taken a weird turn. I think Patrick's going to say, "I can't believe you did a whole 10 minutes on my love life." You know?
like, Jake just went off.
So, and I'm done.
That was a good joke, Jake. I'm sorry. The audience at home couldn't see it, but Jake went to a black screen. By the way, Patrick has not signed in. His mic is off. His screen is off. As far as we know, he's on the dark side of the moon. He's like Michael Collins right now.
What would you say, Justine? Do you think we drove him off with this personal talk?
I'll find out.
I love it. I was going to go to the next room. I'll find out.
For those of you just tuning in, we have 4 minutes left on the show, and Justine just went into Patrick's room to see what's
I think
going
that's hilarious. I'll go find out. No, he's still there.
Nope, he's sitting there seething. John, what's your love language? You got you have affirmation, you have physical touch, you have.
You know how long you known me. I'm a huggy feely person.
But I feel like
He's
you're
a
also a word.
He's a huggy and a gift giver.
Oh yeah, that's totally John.
I feel like John's like 3. I think John's also words of affirmation. He's always quick to give a compliment and let you know.
Yeah.
I think he's got a
Which
lot.
one do you think?
He's got a lot of love to give. That's what.
There's a song in there somewhere. I got a lot of.
Affirmation, words of affirmation might be his biggest one, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
I have
wouldn't guess.
none of those are what I do, so I have no love to give. Was Patrick okay? Because we're going to sign off.
Yeah, he's just doing stuff on his phone. I tried to unmute him, he wouldn't let me.
So he wasn't offended. He thought we were done.
He was probably looking up engagement rings if he's smart after that conversation. Oh my God, that was
Wouldn't
fun.
it be funny?
It better be revenge right now.
Every kiss begins with K, Patrick.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
Wow. Hey, there you
Good
go.
Lord.
Look at Jake knows. Jake's been doing a little shopping.
Dang.
What kind of cut does what does she like?
Yeah. What if
Jake?
Jake
does she
gets
like?
married first?
What does she
I'm
like?
sure he will. I don't think I'll ever get married.
You don't think you're ever going to get married, Justine?
No.
No, I don't think I'll ever get married.
Just marry
It's been
somebody.
10 years. How much longer do I need?
Just marry somebody other than Patrick. That's all you do. Just like surprise.
I'm 100% sure I'll have a kid before I get married.
No. You're
Wow.
Filipino. You can't do that. That's bad in the Filipino culture. That's like
Pretty
doing.
sure it's gonna happen.
That's
Yeah,
like doing
he
it
has
in the
to be
Mexican
honest
culture.
with you.
That's what you should do. That you like. My love language is surprise. Here's a baby. That's what you do.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise. We
Yeah, no one's ever thought of that before.
It's never happened.
yeah
Shotgun.
yeah
What was that's the old term for that. The shotgun wedding.
yeah.
That's how you trap him.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Entrapment. That's how you do a. That's how you do a Catherine Zeta-Jones and he's Sean Connery.
Well, if that happens, somebody will say, "Hey, remember show number 320 when she said?"
Hey guys, speaking of which, I think it's 370, but we got to go. We have less than a minute. So for Jake, for Patrick, for Justine, for John, we will say this transmission ends now. Unity. Good luck, Justine.